Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Trizity Traveling. I am your host, John, and today we conclude our visit to Brownsville, Texas, and the attempted viewing of the Starship Serial Number 9 launch. If you watched last week's video, you know that I watched the launch from home, like many of you. Sometimes that's how rocket chasing turns out. If you didn't watch the video last week, I think you should. I think it's pretty entertaining. Today's trip report takes us from Brownsville, Texas to Dallas, Texas. I'll be flying for the second time on an ERJ-145. This would be my third least favorite aircraft to fly on, I think. The plane I most try to avoid is the ERJ-200. Basically any CRJ, I try to avoid those if I can. And unfortunately today I'm on an ERJ followed by, you guessed it, a CRJ for the next trip report. But before I get to any of those future trip reports, please take a second to click the subscribe button, hit the reminder bell, and you'll be notified of future content automatically. If you like what I've done today, please give it a like. When I went through Brownsville, there was a new terminal right next to the old terminal. Unfortunately, I didn't get to use the new terminal, and we'll get into that in the trip report. Brownsville to Dallas. Today's trip report begins in the outskirts of Brownsville, Texas. I'm returning the rental car. A rental car is a necessary tool if you are chasing rockets, by the way. The Brownsville airport happens to be on the same road, State Road 4, as the Starship and Space X factory. If you take a left, you go to SpaceX. If you take a right, you're going to the airport. This flight was on January 16th of 2021. There's the new airport terminal building. It's quite lovely. I wish it was open today. I'd like to show it to you, but I'll have to come back for a future flight and show it to you then. In the time of COVID, each passenger must attest to their non-COVID state during the check-in process. As I mentioned in the intro, I'm flying on my third least favorite Reginald, the ERJ-145 this morning, with a 1-2 seat arrangement, no first class on this aircraft. I'm on the one seat side, so no single serving friend this morning. Definitely not a big airport. Checked in with American, and then the baggage scanner is kind of out in the open. So you drop your bag by the baggage scanner and wait for the TSA guy to shove through, and it's an interesting experience. I'm assuming that will all be different once the new terminal behind me is open. I would assume a more traditional TSA experience, and the gate area is actually still closed. I'm guessing that probably doesn't open till, I see my flight's at 9:30, probably 8:45 would be my guess, and it's about 8:15, so I got a little time just to chill out. Literally, it's, I don't know, 45 degrees right now, which is chilly. I'm gonna go back inside. This might be the last trip report out of the old Brownsville terminal. As I was producing this trip report, I checked out the Brownsville airport website, and I discovered that the new terminal opened on January 20th, 4 days after my departure. As it turns out, that makes me extra bummed. Really would have liked to have shown you the new terminal, as the old terminal is probably being destroyed as I speak this. This becomes a historical documentary that includes the old airport terminal. The probably now destroyed gift shop and cafe. The TSA checkpoint to have a pre-check lane. I think I was the only one who used the pre-check feature. There are not a ton of flights out of Brownsville. Looks like you can essentially get to Houston or Dallas from here. Once through security, I chilled out in the very small waiting area. Obviously no lounge in Brownsville, not much to do. Thankfully just a short wait until boarding. One of the cool features of small airports like this is outdoor boarding. Walking on the ramp, I take a quick peek at our ERJ-145 before we get on board. I don't know if the new airport has jet bridges or if they will continue the outdoor boarding process. Given the small aircraft size, ramp side check-in for those larger carry-ons is available. Safety announcements were given in Spanish as well as English.
Es posible que deba abrir la salida en caso de emergencia.
Your safety and well-being are always our top priorities at American Airlines. To enable social distancing, we've made some temporary changes to our onboard service. On this flight, we will not be providing a traditional food and beverage service. However, if you need anything, please let us know. If you want to change your seat assignment to provide more distance, please ask the flight attendant prior to doing so. We request that you not move to seats near our dumpsters and galleys as we are all practicing social distancing.
The ERJ has a pretty normal seating area. The only downside to the seating area is the foot area is quite small.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will be coming to the cabin at this time to verify that your seatbelt is securely fastened about you. Please be sure that the silver buckle of the seatbelt is visible at this time. You may briefly lift or lower your face covering while eating or drinking. If you plan to sleep during the flight, we ask that you please do not remove your face covering while sleeping. If you are unwilling or unable to follow this safety requirement, you may not be allowed to fly with us in the future. I will be coming to the aisle for my final safety and face covering check. Now more than ever, we appreciate you choosing American. We ask that you sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
No Wi-Fi on today's flight, so remember to bring your own entertainment. The flight did provide some good landmark spotting on our northerly flight to Dallas. In an interesting twist, Mr. Purple over here and his mother were on my flight into Brownsville way back on January 11th. Kind of a weird coincidence. I hate to keep talking about the toilet, but I will say that the toilet facilities on the ERJ-145 are huge. Biggest of just about any aircraft, even some wide bodies that I've been on. Sorry, still no pictures. It's my policy. As you can see, this is not a huge airplane. As we land in Dallas today, no thumbs up or thumbs down. I thought about giving the bathroom a thumbs up, but just at the end of the day, I couldn't do it. As I mentioned, the hierarchy of Reginalds, I'd give the ERJ-145 the third worst, ahead of the CRJ-200, which is my least favorite. It's the most snug, and you'll twist your neck looking out the window. Followed by the CRJ-700 or 900. I really don't see much difference between those two, both with lots of offset windows and also very snug. The only benefit they do have is they do have a first-class cabin. I'll be on that in the next flight. And then the ERJ-145 beats them out because it has properly placed windows that are large and provide nice viewing. And I guess because it has a nice big bathroom.
It is our pleasure to welcome you to Dallas Fort Worth, where the local time is 10:55 a.m. You may now use your cell phone. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisle clear of all personal items. Take a moment to check your seat pocket for any personal items like tablets and cell phones. When you open the overhead compartment, be careful as items may have moved in flight. In order to support social distancing, we will be playing a few rows at a time, starting from the front of the aircraft to the back. We ask everyone to remain seated until the row in front of you has cleared to prevent crowding in the aisle. Take a moment to check your seat pocket for any personal items like tablets and cell phones. To help keep our cabin clean, please take any remaining waste items with you and place them in the trash bin as you exit the aircraft. or any of the bins located inside the terminal. For those of you making a connection, check the monitors in the terminal for gate information, or visit aa.com from your phone. American Airlines and our Oneworld partners, thank you for flying with us today. We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. Remember to hit that like button and leave me a comment. And as always, as I close today, wishing you and yours safe and happy travels.